This program is intended for a mature audience. If you are not 18 or older, stop listening and find more age-appropriate content. This show will cover topics in a satirical manner. If you are offended by any content herein, that is your own problem. As you have been warned, please do not try this at home, or anywhere else for that matter.
And now, for the most famous words in motorsports.
Oh, hell no!
And welcome to Blown-Pistons. I'm your host, Gremlin Dave.
Arya.
Sitting to my left is Hammer. Really? Sitting to my left is Hammer.
Am I?
Sitting straight across from me is Josh.
Aloha.
Or not Josh, Sean.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with me?
Like, yeah. All right, I'll take it. Hi, how
whatever.
you doing?
Well done, whole milk.
Gotcha.
How you doing?
Sitting at the end of the table, Tits and Ash, Johnny, GTP Jonny, whatever the fuck you go by now, Johnny.
Oh, we
What the
can't
hell
hear Johnny
happened?
tonight. He's quiet anyways. What happened, Johnny?
Well, while we're figuring that out,
What the hell, Johnny?
I don't know. I didn't touch it.
I thought it was working a minute ago.
It was.
It was. Oh, a little bit.
There it is.
There we go. Hey.
There you are. You got to really mouth that thing.
Oh, I know.
There you go.
Oh, there
I'm
you
up
go.
on it.
And special guest today is Trent from COTS. Welcome, sir.
Cots?
What up? How you guys
Cots?
doing?
Really? Cots?
That's okay.
I'm
King of the streets.
Thank you.
We're not picking.
I was going to get to that part.
Well done, whole milk.
We're not that.
Jeez.
Cutting corners. That's all right. Hey.
I'm literally cutting corners.
You're like a McDonald's burger. Just cut the corners, clean the fuck off.
Right. Hey.
All right, everybody at this table who's a big fan of the Wendy's Twitter, raise your hand.
Oh,
Dude, it's some of the best,
Fuck
yeah,
best
raising hands
professional
right now.
corporate roast ever.
Yes.
It's fucking amazing.
Corporate trolls are the best trolls.
See, it's them and Arby's, I think, have a good one. Because Arby's has the geeky side, so they're always cutting
I
their
can't-
boxes apart and making like Millennium Falcons and
Yeah,
shit. you
yeah.
know, but like,
Yeah, I can't. I got a black eye because of Arby's.
What the fuck did you do at Arby's to get a black eye?
Curly fries mess with you?
No. I got told talk dirty to me, so I grabbed her by the lips and said, "We have the meats."
Oh, good lord.
So, anyways, I know we wanted to get the sponsorship out of the way right away.
Yeah, that's a good way to lead into it, huh, Hammer?
We've got the meats. Speaking of got meats, here's our sponsors.
This episode has been brought to you in part by Resurrection Vapor at resurrectionvapor.com. Try them out, look them up, check it out. Fuck them. I don't care what you do, just as long as you tell them Bad Habits Network sent you. Great flavors, a shit ton of juice lines, and now new Salt Nick. So you got a little tiny
Hell
pod.
yeah.
So yeah, bingo, bango, bongo. Tell them Bad Habits sent you. Resurrectionvapor.com. Triple dub that shit. This episode is also brought. Yep.
And come on, white bread.
drink.
Really? I like that whole milk.
Whole milk, white bread, whatever. Same thing, goes side by side.
This episode is also brought to you in part by Vape Walkie. Pewaukee, Wisconsin's premier vape store in high-end, low-end, everything in between kind of mods. Thousands of juice adorned their walls to include our previous mentioned sponsors and some of our other sponsors. It's a good time to go to Pewaukee, Wisconsin and check out Vape Walkie at vapewalkie.com. And you want me to keep going with the sponsors here,
Yes,
Dave?
keep going.
Also, this episode has been brought to you in part by Taffy e-Liquids. If you guys like taffy, do you guys like vape? Do you guys like taffy and vape? Bring them out. It's saltwater taffy flavored
yeah.
vape. 3 great flavors: fruit punch, blue raz, and strawberry kiwi. No, Dave, hand me that bottle. Kiwi watermelon. There it is.
Close.
Yeah, you know what? I'm allowed at least 18 fuck-ups for one show.
Yeah, I suppose.
You can find them exclusively in brick and mortars only. Ask your distributor or wholesaler for them by name in a brick and mortar only. That is Taffy e-Liquids. You can also find them on Facebook, Instagram, and maybe or not the Twitter. I don't know. What other ones do we got? So we got 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, Ideal Vapor at idealvapor.com. In Portage, Wisconsin, and Berlin, Wisconsin. Great fucking places. They just opened a new one in Portage, Wisconsin. Great pool table, great area to do your social networking and media play. Fantastic things adorn their walls as well. Actually, their shelves and walls, because they have a nice little Guru's favorite section, the alternative medication administration area.
Well,
I love the way you put that. That's awesome.
Yeah,
well stocked, I should say.
Very well stocked. And
Is that it?
I think we got that asshole.
Oh God, that guy.
Yeah. Guys, if you guys really want to revamp your health from the inside out, check out GaryHomry.lifevantage.com. Great products catered to your nutrigenomics, catered to your genetic level. He's gonna fucking kick my ass for this one. You know that, right?
Say that like 3 times.
I'm surprised he's not calling it.
Nutrigenomics.
Catered to your genetic level. Nutrigenomics. Capered.
See?
Capered.
Now it's a caper.
Come on, Holden, let's go.
Oh, okay. He said
Wait,
caper.
calling all cars. Get that vapor.
I mean, you don't know.
We're going to have to keep that one. We're going to have to cut that out and keep
You
that.
don't know
Yeah.
this, but you are on blown-pistons.
Oh, Jesus.
Really, Johnny? It's one of the.
I'm right up on it.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know if I'm on a radio podcast or if I'm in like a fucking meth lab. You
Yes.
guys you guys have to see this. Yeah, obviously it's a podcast.
Well, you just heard the list of the sponsors,
Oh,
so
I did,
it's
I
a
did.
mixture of both.
Let me give you a little background. I don't smoke nor do I vape. So this to
Shame
me looks
on you.
like,
We got
nah,
it.
it's okay. But it looks like a chemistry.
So you
set.
sniff.
No comment.
Science.
Dave,
Fuck yeah.
you've worked in a garage. Of course he sniffs. There's a lot of good fucking chemicals, especially acetone.
Guys, I haul jet fuel for a living.
Yeah.
And so all of those habits went by the wayside years ago. Now I just inhale like aviation exhaust. Pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, we got a guy that's done that before.
You burn enough brain cells doing that, you're good.
Yeah, pretty
I suppose.
much. If I'm not burning up brain cells inhaling, I'm burning up brain cells trying to deal with my children. I love my kids, but
I feel ya.
Yeah, what's the return policy on them?
well,
I
unfortunately,
keep asking my kid's doctor.
Imagine if this candle right here. I'm holding this grass candle, and I went, "Son, here you go," and they just come back. Mm-hmm. So unfortunately,
I keep threatening to drop mine off at the fire station. Only thing is, 3 out of 4 of mine know where I live and my name. So I'm screwed.
that's problematic, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Kids reminding you.
No comment.
Yeah.
So,
guys,
I got a headache.
This is a public service announcement. If you guys are thinking about having children, go to Chuck E. Cheese for about an hour without beer. I guarantee you, for goddamn sure, you're going to go out and buy a puppy the next day.
I have to say that was the worst idea that they could have ever come up with, is that they actually serve beer, but they'll only give you 1 per hour.
What, a Chuck E. Cheese?
Yeah, literally, you got to show them your ID. They scan it, and if you go up there like at 58 minutes, they'll fucking scold you and make you feel like you're an asshole because you wanted a second beer that early. And it's like,
Interesting.
Holy shit, I'm sorry. Like I tried to get 1 for me and 1 for my wife, and they made me feel like I was an alcoholic, and I was like.
And also joining us, we have Tiff and Tony. Hey guys.
What's up?
Hi.
Hey.
Because they're TNT.
Hi.
Johnny, try that again.
Is that because they're TNT?
Jesus
TNA.
Christ. Why is your microphone...
It's working better now. I can hear myself.
It's the older mics. We're just not used to them anymore.
Okay. It's weird.
Those are also generally very directional.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I'm right up on it.
Yeah, no, I know. I know what I used to use. What is that? A 58 or what do you got? What is it?
I don't know.
Sure.
Well, I didn't know. I don't know.
48.
I don't know if you guys knew this, but we did like we call them podcasts now. We did radio shows like 10 years ago, and we didn't use this.
Right.
We had I actually went out and bought. I tried to bait a 58s that Tough had because he was the one that did it with me. And I didn't like the audio of them, so I went out and bought some Audix OM2s, but you had to talk right into them.
Right.
Ironically, we started this on a fucking podcast. We started this podcast on a fucking iPhone.
Yeah,
that's how this is transitioned.
Here's the fucked up part is that works these days.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It works. I still have to this day. I've been on my 3rd board now, but I have a 16-channel Yamaha O1V that I use. And it's 8-channel headphone amp. I mean, like a bunch of studio shit because back then that's all we could use.
Right.
Like that's all that worked. I paid, and this is no joke. I had a, what was it? Surfer Network was my broadcast company.
Jackie's in the chat room
Dude,
saying
it cost me like $300 a month for a year.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's why those shows died after a year. I'm like, man, I can't afford this. This is
Right.
crazy. And now you can do it for, you can do it with iPhone for free. Be like, hey, testing. Hello.
Yeah, and I like the fact that our sponsors are quite generous to us to keep help us keep
that
the
helps
lights
a
on.
lot.
Right.
And our sponsors actually pay attention to us.
Yeah. Well,
Hi, Jackie.
Right.
hell,
First
You're
one
fired.
out there, bam.
yeah, she's the first one to fire us every episode.
Right.
Yeah.
I love getting fired though.
So
No, you just like firing it up like you did behind the garage earlier.
tell us about cots.
All right, what a transition. So, meanwhile, I was blazing up, and then, hey, let's talk about King of the Street.
Let's blaze
All
them
right.
tires, folks. Come on.
Yeah,
All
that's
right.
what he was talking about behind the garage, lighting the tires.
Well,
Yeah, right, Sean.
how do I pick up from that amazing handoff?
You cover the carb and then. Oh wait, wrong handoff.
The carburetor. It's a Holly 750, right?
Yeah, it's a double pumper.
Right?
It's a Holly double pumper.
There we go.
That's an old 783 barrel right there.
I told you. I tell you.
All right, well, let's see. Where do we start?
Well, we could start with the last episode of Blown Pistons, where somebody was talking about how cots ain't shit.
What?
No, they're
Apparently
they didn't know how to get onto cots.
They
and
didn't know how
everything.
to adult.
No, not really. They're young. They're
All right.
young and trying to learn.
Yep.
I guess you'll have to catch me up to speed. I'm trying to talk in the end of a mic, because I'm not used to talking across the side of a mic. But this microphone is gold. It is plated in gold. Waiting for Austin Powers to jump out and go, "Oh, look at my gold microphone! It's gold."
I have Dutch accent. Isn't that weird? I like gold.
Exactly.
I am appealing.
Exactly.
Yes.
So
He's been waiting for that part. I'm sorry.
There,
Yes,
see, look at that. I don't even know.
I like this character. He's very fun and he's great on the Kugeln.
At least it's not your normal Austin
You almost
Powers.
sound like the store owner from Simpsons.
Yes.
You want slushy?
Thank you. Come again.
Yeah, exactly.
Please, Mr. Simpson, do not make fun of my Gishnu.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the man of 1,000 impressions over here.
Yeah, I'm
So-
still trying to
Trust
figure
me.
out. Dave gets annoyed every
So
time.
catch me up here, because I've been trying to listen to the shows and get caught up on what you guys do and how you do it. But I haven't.
Same here.
I haven't.
I don't even know what we do.
I haven't gotten yet to the episode where.
Where I issued you the apology.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, because I didn't know apparently there was any bashing or need for an apology.
Tiffany?
Well, first I'll say
Tiffany?
apology accepted, but
Tiffany, this is your department.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, come on.
Oh, hey,
Sean's
now-
gone.
apparently now you got to sweep up the trash or something. Here, come over and clean up all this shit we fucked up. I mean,
Well, we had Slide Society come in, which they're
No. They're called Slide Society Drifting.
I
gotta
heard
get it
that-
right.
I heard that
Okay.
one. I heard that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that'd be the
But
one.
they're just, like I said, they're young. They're trying to figure out where their spot is and stuff like that. So that's why I'm kind of trying to ease them onto everything.
Sure.
But
Well, here's
You
what
lost weight.
Thank you.
Okay.
I always smile and nod. Be like, yeah, fuck yeah, I
I
lost.
Wait
mean,
a-
yeah, of course.
way to jump the track there.
Sorry. Tony's really
They just
been
stuck
laying it
out a little farther
Squirrel.
this time.
Extra padding.
Anyways, go ahead.
Good thing we don't
You're
have an
welcome.
HR department.
Yeah, we do. It's my wife.
My wife.
But she's not here right now, so we can do
Yeah.
upstairs.
She's upstairs. She'll be castrated by the end of the day.
What do you mean by the end of the day? The end of this next 30-minute segment?
Yeah, we're gonna take a break. So much for that.
Hammer comes back. Hey, guys.
Yeah. Hey, is that for clipping off the end of a cigar? No, not exactly.
I could go for one right now.
All right, so let's.
So anyway,
let's.
what is COTS? Why are we here? Why?
Okay.
The Slide Society Drifting really pissed Tiffany off last time.
No, it just they.
Okay,
were
fine. They
talking
really
about
pissed
it
me
and
off.
They didn't know. Yeah, they pissed you off more than anybody else.
Well, it happens. I'll put it like this, and I've got two things here we can talk about. We'll start with COTS because that was the focus of my appearance, and I appreciate you having me here. I guess it's just weird how things work out. Originally, this was supposed to be a phone interview, but the weather on Indiana completely screwed the guys at 41. They were supposed to do a unglued event today.
Oh no shit!
Yeah, I was supposed to go down there this evening to go kind of hang out and check it out, be with the guys, and they had booked Birdman from Street Outlaws was coming up. Well, he had to cancel because he had to film at last minute, and then the weather just turned south and they wound up pulling the plug. And I was down in Hammond this morning for a work function, and it was like 45 degrees and fucking. I actually sent you a picture. It was like 45 and rain. She goes, "Oh, it's great up here in Fond du Lac."
Yeah, we sent you
then
one
I
right
sent him a
back.
sunny
Yeah.
picture. Like,
Yeah, exactly. So it was just total shit. But anyway, so I get off on tangents. I should warn you guys right now that I do that a lot.
No, go.
Okay,
we love this.
Welcome to the
all do.
network.
Yeah, otherwise known as Trent's annoying story time.
No, see, you ever want to get a tangent, just look at Hammer and say, Jane Fonda.
Oh shit!
Whoa, he just made him vape out his nose like
Yep.
a boss, dude. He's like a mad bull over there.
And or birds. If you ever want to get him anything, make
Oh,
it
that's-
bird-oriented.
No.
It hurt.
No.
Don't feel bad. I was supposed to have
You got like some Alfred Hitchcock thing going on?
He was
down
raped
there?
by a chicken or something.
I was supposed to have an event myself at my shop today. I'm celebrating 1 year
What
in
is up with
business,
his mic?
and
Oh.
I'm up on it.
You know,
but,
have you got a gate on that mic by any chance? Because if
the
you
gate's on.
turn it off, like lower, chop the gate down, because it just sounds like the gate is killing him.
Yeah, there we go.
There we go. Yeah, he's up
Now
on
we
the
can
gate.
hear him.
Yeah. So
So now he's not even a Linda Lovelace that fucking mic.
I was
the
supposed to
bit.
have an event at my shop today for celebrating 1 year of doing business there, and the
You
weather.
actually lasted that long?
Oh yeah,
Good job.
Well, here I have-
winter was a bitch, but yeah.
So because I have to play the promo guy. You're talking about your shop. What's
Yes.
the name of the shop? What is it
It's-
doing? Where
We
is it?
have to remind him this every time he starts talking to us. About his shop.
In my shop.
It's called Affliction for Coattails.
it's
Wow.
called it's called
Bro.
it's called
Check
Attention
out my
for
tattoo.
Detail. I do professional automotive detailing.
Okay,
over there.
okay.
I do work for dealerships. I do work for just regular customers.
Cool.
Too. I specialize in ceramic coatings and protecting cars for the future. So
Details and detailing accessories.
Wow, that's
So-
really nice, Hank.
I celebrating 1 year now, and we were originally I moved in at the end of January last
Okay.
year, and it's too fucking cold to do it in January or February, so I was aiming for today, but it's kind of rainy and shitty and kind of cold, so it's like we're gonna push it back a couple more weeks.
Sure,
And then
sure.
Mother Nature said nope again, and it didn't turn out rainy or that cold.
Dude, that
Yeah, right.
bitch is really. She needs a talking to.
I know.
Like I
especially
don't know
this
what
year.
is with her this year.
I think Mother Nature is a man because only a man would sneak 6 inches in you.
What?
Nice try, Johnny.
Yeah, maybe.
How are you like a gremlin again?
No, Pinto.
Pinto, sorry.
You touch him in the ass, he blows up or something.
We've had a lot of faux pas on this. Faux pas, Freudian slips, and whoopsies on this show, like Dave and
Blown
myself.
pistons and yeah. So go ahead, make fun of my blown pistons, there, Johnny, Mr. Pinto ass.
Well, I just want to know how you blew a fisting. What the fuck did you do?
We had another special guest on.
Story
He was calling, or they called in, and I went to end the show, and I'm like, thanks guys for being on blown pistons. And I'm like, oh fuck. The moment I said it too, everybody looked at me and it's like, yep, I'm not living that one down.
Yeah, Johnny created created my favorite brain cramp where I just stopped and talked like 3 octaves higher and go, what?
Yeah, I can't. Who were we talking to?
Yeah, like a
I think
Kevin
it was
Hart
that-
moment over
That
there.
was
The
for
monster truck chick.
No.
Blown Pistons was
That was
Team
another one of my
Sean
fuck up.
Duhan. Sean
Yeah.
Duhan.
No,
Yeah.
no,
No, it was
no, for-
Kate from
it
The
was-
Gambler.
It was Team Clearcoat.
Oh, okay. I don't know.
Yeah.
We've had a few on.
It was the guys from Team Clearcoat, Dave.
Hey, you found it.
Well, I've managed to screw up quite a few. Like the first time we have
I'm still stuck on monster truck chick. Actually,
Yeah, okay.
Like what the hell?
Kaylin Miguez.
Okay.
The first time she was on, it was Dave and myself because Johnny had a thing and Tiffany was. Yeah. Tony was stuck in Tiffany and they couldn't. I mean, traffic.
Wow.
So, needless to say, apparently,
Hey, if you're gonna miss a show, that's a pretty damn good reason.
Yes.
a southern.
Why can't you be at the show? Here's a Snapchat. Oh, never mind.
But yeah,
Family first.
I found out that day that the southern
Little too-
accent really makes me lose a lot of IQ points.
So you,
Women
if-
in general make Dave
Okay,
lose
So-
yes,
so-
you've got.
IQ points.
and
Every
this
time.
is a
Okay,
shout out.
okay.
This is a shout out to Kaylin Miguez, smoking hot at the time, 19-year-old, talking to Dave.
Hey, y'all.
I think still 19 years old.
No, she's 20 now. I mean,
He still follows her that close.
Wow.
well, yeah, she's been on our show
Crap.
3 times and comes on. I mean,
The moment she said hi, y'all, he goes full retard.
hey, you've done that
Pretty
too
much,
before
pretty
with
much.
the Bunny Ranch calling us.
Yes. When the Bunny Ranch called up, it wasn't that bad. Though.
I think Hammer muttered or the phrase.
Are
and
you
this
sure
is-
you could talk today?
I know,
Nope.
he's kind of out of it.
But I think Hammer said one of his famous phrases. This is the blood from one head transferring to the other.
Well, there's a reason for that.
Oh, yeah.
See,
Yeah.
God has a sense of humor.
Yep.
He created men with 2 heads, but not enough blood to run them both at the same time.
Robin Williams.
He just sits back and says, hey guys, watch this.
Exactly.
So anyways, cots.
Okay, yeah. Circling back to why
Not
we're
just
here.
something
Back
to
to where
sleep
we
on.
were.
Yeah.
It's like spin the chair around.
Oh, you'll
All right.
find out we do this a lot. It's full circle constantly.
But that's what makes it work. And when you have, just speaking from a radio show perspective, if you have chemistry with the people either at the table, it works. If you don't have chemistry,
Well,
it
we
can be a
have-
total train wreck. And
We-
it
we-
helps a lot. You got to play off each other.
yeah, we all hate each other.
I was going to say it's like oil,
Equally.
chemistry like oil and water. Yep.
Well, you know what also helps?
Kidding.
Well, I used
We love to
to
hate each other.
we used to do our
Oh,
shows years
especially
ago.
right now.
these were all, we did them live, and then I would record it and listen to it in my truck while I was driving. And when I came across something neat, I would write down a timestamp, and I go back and listen to it later, and I might make a little sound clip of it. So, when you're running through all the FX and whatnot, when you do the clips, they sound just like the person talking. So if anything ever got awkward, no thanks. If anything ever got awkward, I would just, drop a clip that said, "I can't wait for you to put your thumb in my butt." Like something weird that somebody said off the cuff, but as you guys well know, everything you say into the mic can and will be used against you.
Oh, yeah.
That's how I used to break the show up. If all of a sudden things got weird, I'd be like, "Well, my mother fucked me this one time," when somebody's just joking, but they didn't realize it was on a hot mic, and I'm like, "I'll keep that for a rainy day." Anyway, all right, so circling back to COTS. Short version, COTS is the baddest fucking race in the goddamn world.
It is.
That's the way I look at it. We started in
Indeed,
2008.
sir. I said indeed, sir.
Thank you.
You're
I
welcome.
think it's a good answer. I'm like, what was the question?
Wait, was that a question?
Oh, shit, I failed already.
Oh, God.
So obviously, it's a product of Heyo Steve Gillespie and myself. And it all started, on my end anyway, it started with Steve kind of approaching me. At the time, I was kind of known for, like, doing events and whatnot. And he came to me with an idea, said, "Hey, I got an idea for this race." And I think it materialized from a parking lot discussion with a bunch of racing friends and, getting chased by the cops, couldn't fucking race. And same struggle we had when we started doing real street drags back in 99. Same exact concept. So, but the cars got faster, and he's like, I got this idea for a race, but I'm not really sure how to pull it off. We want to be a part of this. I'm like, well, sure, why not? So we did a race 2008 at US 41, and I think it was 22 cars, maybe? And
It wasn't a lot.
No, it was
Yeah.
small. There was no spectators, no public. It was 5 people per car, and the rules were simple. You had to be on a 28 10.5. For those of you not familiar with drag racing, that's 28 inches tall, 10.5 inch wide, non-W. It's a particular type of tire, common in the Chicago area, and stock suspension, no wheelie bars, and that was about it. Just fucking let it eat. The idea was to just give them one weird. It's kind of like these little tins right here. These are your tires. This is the crux of our entire rule book right here. If you can make the car work on these tires, you're good. And we started in 2008, and a fellow at the time who was known in the street racing circles, who everybody knows now as Boosted GT, came up from Texas and won the first race. And a lot of us knew him. Some of us had met him. And but the folks that didn't know him were like, who the fuck? This guy shows up at an open trailer with some, kind of ratty old yellow Mustang that hasn't washed in like 5 years. And came up and, eventually wound up taking all the money and the trophy home. So it went really well. We did another one in 2009. And then we went into 2 events in 2010. And in 2012, we switched venues up to Great Lakes Dragway in Wisconsin. That was an interesting story, but the short version is the manager of the track at that time didn't like our policy of not having spectators and tried to kind of put us over a barrel 24 hours before the event and said, well, I'm going to let spectators in and there's nothing you can do about it. I said, really? And 24 hours later, we were at Great Lakes Dragway. So the owner up there, Randy Henning, and I had a relationship, and I said, hey, I called him up and said, hey, you want COTS? He's like, well, of course. We've talked about this. I said, well, cool, you can have it. He's like, what do you mean? I'm like, tomorrow. He's like, what? It was a really short conversation. It was a very big turning point for us at the event, and it, the rest kind of went from there. We've had 2 events a year, and at the time, the whole premise again was a racetrack we hadn't touched. At the time, we were doing flashlight starts, and I was doing flashlights myself. Except for 2009, I was in a tower because it rained, so I had my kids. And at the time, I had 2. I couldn't be at the track, so let's see here. So we did flashlight starts, and eventually started using the Christmas tree and all that stuff, and inadvertently kind of created a genre that people now call no prep racing, We didn't know it at the time. We're just trying to do something kind of cool, and
It's everywhere.
Yeah, it's weird as shit. It's looking back on it, it's fucking weird.
You're like,
People are like, "Oh, no prep, it's the biggest thing in the history of drag racing." I don't really know it's that big, but it's fairly big. And now you got the TV shows, the No Prep Kings, off of Street Outlaws, and all that stuff. So there's a lot of exposure there, and to see where it's going in 10 years.
But were you guys the first? So you guys were like the first for that stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I'll put it like this: we never claimed, we never went, "Yeah, we started this shit." But enough people in here said, "Well, yeah, no, Kotz was the first." Finally, we just decided to own it. Yeah, fuck it, we started it.
Wasn't that one of the things that the our last guests were complaining about with the no prep racing?
Yep.
Oh yeah, Slide Society was complaining about that.
Well, let me ask you a question. Now, let me preface this, okay? Now, we'll talk about this in a minute. You guys know I run a drift program too, right?
Right.
Okay. Now, I don't.
Wait, you run a drift program too?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I told
I do.
you that.
Oh, this is it one of the hashtags?
Drift Chi-Town.
Yeah, that's why I changed
We sent it to you.
That's
man.
awesome. No,
Yes,
I
yes.
did. No, I'm just trying to get that hashtag out
so-
there.
Remember, I said
Your voice can't go any higher there?
No, I can't.
He just had another Kevin Hart moment. I wasn't ready.
I wasn't ready for that. Look what I can do.
So anyway, here's the deal. I have absolutely nothing
All right,
against
Stuart.
Slide Society guys. I don't.
Right.
I don't know a lot of them. My other half in Drift Chi-Town, Chris Fosco, is more into the drift world. I'm again more the orchestrator kind of guy, and I'm used to people criticizing what we do. No matter what I do, you're always going to have people call them haters now. I'm not going to sit there and go, "Man, oh fuck you, man, you don't know." I don't know the guys.
or make videos about
Honestly, I'd
Wow.
like their.
What?
There was-
clowns. Come on.
What?
Going back old.
Yeah,
school.
that is
I would honestly like to get their head
It's an
guy in to
inside
talk.
joke.
I would like to
Well-
get their head guy in to talk to you to actually kind of. I think that would benefit them in a lot
Are
of
you
ways.
talking Mark or Trent?
Mark? But I think Mark with Danny and Trent with him.
Okay.
Wait, how many fucking Trent? There's only room in this room for one Trent. You know.
Well,
that,
there's
right?
only one Trent in here right now.
Okay, well,
He
you're
was
like.
very confused listening to the
I
show.
was.
He's
I'm like,
is
I'm
it
right
me?
here. What are you
Wait,
talking
what?
about? When you have a weird name like Trent and you hear somebody talking about Trent, you automatically assume
It's you.
you're talking about you, and you feel like the biggest narcissist asshole when you realize that there's somebody talking about another Trent, and it's like, oh, sorry.
No, Michael's upstairs for narcissist.
No, I thought that was me.
Either way.
Michael's the former sociopath.
A recovered sociopath, reformed sociopath.
Kind of reminds me of that GMC
Interesting.
commercial about the Allison transmissions, and the girl goes, "Who the hell's Allison?" It's like, really?
So then you start talking about your coming engine. She goes, "You're going to do fucking what?"
Power stroke.
Cummins,
Hey,
Cummins.
what's wrong with my power stroke?
Right?
So Allison was power stroking the other day, and then all of a sudden it came to Cummins.
Yeah, exactly. You know what they say? I'd rather be coming than stroking.
That's true.
It depends.
Inline 6 for the win, baby.
Depends on how long you want to last.
That is true. So here, getting back to Slide Society.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. I'm trying to do the redirect just so I don't get spun out. So
Good luck.
My thing is I don't know. Again, I don't know the guys, and I don't know how much they know about drag racing at all. I
They
mean,
don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In our opinion, which may or not be wrong, it's very little.
okay, well, and that's fine because everybody has a starting point. Like when we started doing drifting, I didn't know much about it. I mean, I knew how to do it because where I come from, guys, I'm 43 years old, in case anybody's wondering, based on a really gray-ass fucking goatee over here.
I was going to say you don't look a day over 42.
Thanks, appreciate that. I didn't look a day over 39, then I grew this thing on. I'm like, ho, ho, ho. I'm fucking terrible. But
And I
anyway,
just shaved mine off.
right. So when we started doing the drifting, I knew how to do it because that's how we learned how to drive when I was a kid. It's just you learn how to drive that way. It's called correcting oversteer. They taught it in driver's ed. If you go into a skid, what do? Steer into it. Now they're like, wow, that's deep. No, that's driver's ed. That's so it's a little different for me.
Midwest driving right there with the snow.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Either you learn how to drift by today's standards, or you wind up in a motherfucking ditch waiting for a tow truck. So anyway, but so I respect the fact that if they don't know anything about drag racing, that's cool. Now, if they're like talking poorly about what we do with COTS, that seems a little.
I don't
out
think
of
that
line
was
to
their
me?
necessary.
Or maybe
That
I'm
wasn't where they were.
misunderstanding
They
That
just don't
wasn't where they
consider
were
drag
going.
racing a sport. They think that there's no skill involved to go
I don't
straight.
consider
Yeah,
bowling
From
a
start to
sport.
finish,
It
there's
still is.
more maneuvers,
It goes from
thought
point A to
process,
point B.
and actions that have to take place
Here's-
versus just sliding.
Now, you know what? I actually see their point. I see it entirely because that is exactly the way my wife feels. Exactly. She doesn't get drag racing, and
science.
I get it because honestly, I'm a horrible spectator for drag racing. Now, I've been involved in running races for almost 20 years. So if somebody says, "Hey, when you go watch a drag race," I'm like, "No, I'm good." Like because if I see something being done, I see something being done wrong, I'm like, I want to go up in the tower and be like, "What the fuck are you doing? You can't." I want to control things. I get a little control freaky about it, but I get it. I get the idea that, especially if you're used to drifting or road racing or autocrossing, anything that was more than a Vin Diesel 10-second or less type of lifestyle. No mic for you. Ha!
He's got nothing.
You better detail that microphone, son. Hold on, we got some technical issues.
But going off that, it kind of brings me back to like watching movies with my past wife. Is like there'd be like a front wheel drive car going into a skid. I'm like, that car can't do that. That's way underpowered. That car's not rear wheel drive.
E-brake lifestyle, man.
But it was movie magic.
That and also is e-brake magic. We did that in high school. A friend of mine had one of these old piece of shit Dodge Shadows, and it was a 5-speed car. And it didn't have a handbrake. It had a foot-operated parking brake. Yep. And his name was Jeff Gebhardt. He's a dear friend of mine. And he used to pride himself in the fact he could smoke a cigarette, skip a gear, drive the car, slide it with his foot, releasing the brake, all with 2 hands and 2 feet. I have no idea how he did it. But I mean, whatever. It was a Shadow. We're a bunch of dumbass kids.
Say with the butthole clenched.
I did some of that shit in a Buick Skylark. Is like I'd push the parking brake, slide it around in a parking
Skylark didn't
spot.
have a clutch. That's what made it interesting. I mean, it was like that. It was like that video is that there's a spoof video of proper footwork and drifting, and it shows a guy back and forth. Then they bring in a 3rd foot and a 4th foot. It's like 5 feet down there in the pedals.
I've seen that.
It's like, what the fuck? First time I saw it, I was like, "You got to be kidding!" Oh, it's a joke. Again, I didn't get it at first.
How did he grow so many feet? Where'd they come
I'm like, what is these fucking people sitting on top of each other? Jeez, it doesn't take that many feet. That was my own fault. So as far as if those guys were, I remember they had a couple of questionable comments about our drift program. We'll get into that. I didn't really think anything about comments about COTS because obviously if you don't do it, you don't get it. Right. And I get that from drag racers all the time.
We will be doing it, at least as spectators, this year, June 9th.
Yes, that would be nice. I'd love to have you guys. You guys, if you wanted a podcast, you could. If your equipment will do that, it's up to you. It might be a little loud.
I'm kind of pushing him for it.
We have to negotiate the terms.
I know. I've been pushing you.
Gas.
I know, right?
Come on, who's paying
negotiate
for gas?
The terms.
I think I threw something in there on that.
And that when we got to get the permissions from the lawyers and all that other shit. Because it is COTS. It is a major thing, and I got to have my ass backed.
Mm-hmm. Lawyers? You're talking to me.
You mean wife?
and wife. Because we have an event June 8th, the day before, in Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
You know what's funny is first time I heard, and now I should preface this, when I do my work, I haul jet fuel, as I may have said, I do a lot of work up north, Oshkosh. I go through Fond du Lac, but I don't go to the airport. And I could do a lot of Appleton, Green Bay and stuff. And I never thought Pewaukee was actually a town. I thought it was like a joke, like Milwaukee had a gun problem, so they call it Pewaukee. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. And I drove through, I was like, son of a bitch, it's actually a real town.
Yep.
Anyway, sorry, continue.
Pew, pew.
That's like Embarrass, Wisconsin. I just found that was real.
What was it?
Embarrass.
Yeah.
There's an Embarrass, Wisconsin.
I'm going to be looking this up later.
I think I don't know if it's Tennessee or Indiana, but there's a Climax.
Yep.
Michigan's got one.
Yeah, Michigan's
and it's great because like Climax this way. I'm like, don't mind if I do.
I've been through there.
Yeah, we seen the travel sign for Intercourse and Blue Balls, Pennsylvania. Yep. I've lived in
Have you been to Pennsylvania?
Yes.
Yeah, we were there.
It is literally a Blue Balls kind of state.
Yeah,
we went there for Cigar Fest a few years ago.
It was like a Bill Clinton tribute or what?
No,
it was great.
Cool.
Cigars International hosts once a year a huge meet and greet with
Monica Lewinsky. Sorry.
Yeah, I wish. Well, the young Monica Lewinsky.
The one that ate Monica Lewinsky, or the one that
that was Bill.
What? My fellow Americans, that was a great fucking joke. Wow, Bill in the house.
Look at this fucking
My fellow Americans.
My fellow Americans, we will win this war, and I don't why or what we're talking about again.
Meanwhile, Hillary's over on the other side of the aisle. I was going, what the fuck?
She's getting her box eaten by fucking Janet Reno bitch.
Okay, I'm done. Once you mention Hillary's box, it's over. That joke could just die.
You know what I think? Honestly, when I think of that, I think of the concrete box they put a casket in.
Yes.
Like the vault. Thank you. Yeah,
that's Hillary's box.
Pretty much. It's like, here, let me check
Only
this out.
one thing's escaped it, Chelsea.
Yeah.
I gotta say, this is definitely
when she fell out of that box, she hit every.
She came out walking.
She was using the umbilical cord as a bungee jump.
This is a brand new thing for Blown Pistons. We've never talked about 1, Hillary Clinton, 2, Hillary's box,
3, Chelsea Clinton birthday using it as a fucking umbilical cord as a fucking jumper cable. Not a jumper cable. God damn it, Hammer.
The joke has failed.
Yep, fail. Moving on.
Whole milk.
Well done, Whole Milk. You fucked it up.
Anyways, how about the Scots?
All right. Yeah,
June 9th, folks. Great Lakes Dragway. Great Lakes Dragway.
Dragway.
And also, I was going to tell you, first off, there's a technical tidbit you messed up. It's actually drag away.
Drag away. Well, I was reading in the chat room too, because apparently our friend Matt can't spell drag away either.
Well, people are like, what the fuck? Why drag away? It's supposed to be drag away. No, it's drag away because
your wife will literally drag you away. It's such a cool place.
Actually, when it was first built, and I forget her name now, she just died a couple years ago because we scattered her ashes at the track. But there was a couple folks that built the racetrack back in the 50s, and the whole thing was the kids can come to the track and drag away all night. That's where it came from.
Cool.
So, and that was back in the day. They used to run 4 wide. I have pictures of that.
I love watching.
That would actually be
races.
more fun to watch.
Yeah,
I love that when you go to
they didn't.
all that.
But there were no walls.
Right.
There were 4 wide on a 2-lane road.
They're like in the field. There you go.
Right.
So Dale Earnhardt actually had a chance.
He turned right. He turned right.
There were no walls.
He turned right once.
Yeah.
He was supposed to go left. He missed that.
Yeah, well, hey, sometimes you got to take one for the team.
On a straightaway.
No, he was on a curve.
He was on a curve.
Yeah, he was on a curve.
I thought he came underneath and then he got clipped.
No, he was. He was in turn 4.
Well, was it 4th? I thought it was coming into 3. They were coming into 3. I just seen this video a few days ago. This is the only reason I know anything about it. I'm not an NASCAR guy, but they were coming into 3, and somebody got into the bottom of it a little bit, shook them up, and the car went right. And it didn't look like that hard of a hit at first. You know, I remember when it happened. I was actually watching
Sterling Marlin actually. Well, what it was he was trying to block the 2 cars that he owned because he owned Dale Earnhardt Jr.'s car and Michael Waltrip.
Right. He was kind of trying to keep his guys protected. I remember.
Yeah,
that.
he was going to block. He come down, hit the flat part of the apron. Well, Sterling Marlin had a little bit of a run on him, and when he went to come back up onto the track, Sterling Marlin tapped the back of his car, which sent him head first in the wall.
Right. Yeah, I remember the car bobbled a bit, and like I said at the time, nobody really thought anything of it. But,
nope.
You know. If you're gonna go on a motherfucking NASCAR Gladiator, that's how you do it.
Mm-hmm. Like a boss.
I don't ever wish death upon anybody, but a career racer, a storied racer like that, that's almost like going off into the sunset. Like that's how it should happen. You know?
He went out how he drove. I mean, he kind of drove like an asshole, and that's how he got his name, the Intimidator. And then
he's an aggressive driver.
I honestly thought it was just because he had that really wicked ass mustache. Like he looked like fucking Foghorn Leghorn.
He should have had a handlebar one on there.
Yeah, fucking twisted up.
Waiting for some comment out of you on that one.
Nope.
Really?
I'm beyond that.
Are you?
Nope.
So, anyways,
Sean, just smoke yourself, fucking not cripple.
So what else? You know, I was going to tell you, by the way, you were talking about you've got an event in Pew Pew Walkie. That's gonna be my new thing now. Pew Pew Walkie. And as a side note, there's a very funny picture out there of for Star Wars nerds of Princess Leia with a gun and 2 church pews flying through the air. only the hardcore ones will get that. But we're actually at the track on the 10th as well, doing Drift Chi-Town the day after COTS. Just letting you know if you guys will be around. So I try to stack those together because it makes for a pretty good weekend.
And we also may or may not have.
And it's easier for you too.
It is much easier for me.
You got to talk into the mic, Tiff.
Oops, sorry. And it's easier for you because you're already there. Is that better?
Speak clearly into the microphone, please.
Sorry.
Pretend it's Tony and have fun.
Wow.
What?
Not that much. No, not that much fun. It's my shocker. These are electrified.
No, that's Tony's job. The shocker.
Are these condenser mics you got going on here?
Sorry.
That's fancy. That's just way more.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't ask how much they cost.
Yeah, that's 48. That's 48 volts of what the fuck just happened right there. Oh my god!
It felt so good.
Never mind now.
Apparently she knows.
Wrong show.
See, now I don't
Tiffany,
feel sorry about my comment.
No, actually, I think it's the right
funny.
show. I think it's exactly the right show.
It goes on to a whole lot worse.
Yeah, no.
Oh, if you're interested in staying for that show, you're more than welcome to.
Well, also, if you guys don't want to go racing, Chicago's got the Exotica Expo going on that weekend.
Michael will be covering that in about an hour.
Yeah, let me tell you how fucking pissed.
Cody, Michael will talk to you about that later too, Cody.
Let me tell you how pissed I was when I realized
Jesus
that the dates conflict with COTS.
Yes,
That's a fun time.
we also have that issue with what is that Automotion? We've always had conflicting dates with Automotion as well with some of our sponsors and such.
So I have a question here.
Automotion is the first weekend in June.
No,
it's next weekend.
Oh no, I'm sorry.
weekend.
Automass. My bad.
Oh,
I mixed the two up.
Yeah,
I know because I forgot your damn stickers too.
I was going to ask you.
I know. I had them in an envelope. I'll mail them to you next week.
I seen your COD stickers, and those things are awesome.
Thank you.
I do feel for you because I forget the stickers all the time too.
Yeah, I had them in an envelope in my semi. I figured if I crossed paths with her, I would be in my truck. So I had them all in the truck, and I left them in the truck.
Are spectators allowed to run at COTS or the?
No, actually, and I'm glad
If you got an
you're
extra one, please.
What? Where? What's going on?
We're giving you 4 extra horsepower, whatever you put it on.
God damn. 4 horsepower. Wow.
Do you have a Honda?
No, he's got a Hemi.
No, but
okay.
I know what you don't have on this mic is a compressor. Oh my God, that was buzzy. Sorry. That's okay.
Hammer sucks at remembering stickers. Yes, Tim, I do.
Oh, that's right.
Tim has
live feedback.
Yeah.
I missed the live. That's the issue. We had you're doing double duty. We had when we did our shows, we had a guy named Mike Gould, who was known as Red Baron. He's one of the announcers at Great Lakes now. He's excellent, and he was our computer guy. So he would sit there and monitor the Yellow Bullet flash chat. That was our feedback for him.
Nice.
And we were so proud because we crashed Yellow Bullet like 4 times. It got so busy, and but it was funny. Be like, all of a sudden you hear Mike go like, "There's a question from the Yellow Bullet flash chat," and we'd all be like, "What's going on, Mike?" They just want to know if April Bryant is going to take off her shirt. Some weird thing. It was a big running joke with that. So then we're like,
I don't care. Yeah, I want to know that question too, damn it.
Well, usually she did shows with us, so she'd be like, oh my God, no. So yeah, we had a lot of fun with that. So anyway, you were asking about whether or not spectators can run in COTS. The short answer is no. COTS is a pre-registered event, and all the entries have to be locked in prior to the race, and have to pay entry and lock in. Heyo Steve handles the lock-in, and that's pretty much it. We do. Most of the groups have a 32-car field limit. But we do 8-car minimums on everything because if there's not 8 vehicles, there's no sense in doing it. So,
gotcha.
What? My God, I think my car's being towed. Fuck.
No, there's always a lot of side chatter. You just kind of try to focus.
No worries.
We're unprofessional as fuck.
That's why it's fun, though.
Yes. It is.
You get professional, and then you're like, hey, that doesn't sound very good.
Yeah.
We can.
Well, we're not going to do another take, so fuck off.
We can do and say what we want, really, in theory.
Yeah, as long as we all show up on time.
That sounds good. I'm still baffled at your meth lab. Vape lab. Whatever the.
Oh, the vape lab's back there.
Oh, good God, it gets worse.
I
feel like I'm in college again.
This is just the flavors.
I warned you, though. No. I did pre-warn you about the vape.
Did. Yeah, but you got to keep in mind, not being one with the powered with smoke.
The vape.
Yeah, I'm not ready for all this. Like this is no joke. It reminds me of, and this, bear with me, it's going to be kind of weird. This reminds me a little of my bedroom, and I'm going to tell you why. Because my wife is huge into essential oils. So up on the shelf, we have all these.
I'm waiting for essential oils or butt plugs. I don't know.
I really wasn't going to discuss
That's where you were going.
Podcast. Well, I was more like
that's
lube,
not on a shelf. Like
that's
kids
the later show again.
Stay tuned for Midnight Sushi.
Yeah, like, Dad, that looks like a silicone lava lamp. No, not exactly.
Well, it gets pretty hot.
Is that a miniature lava lamp? Sure. Let's go with that.
Is that a bouncy ball? It looks weird.
Yeah, right. Takes
Dad,
yellow
your lightsaber smells like fish.
Takes Yellow Bullet to a whole new fucking.
Wow, that's where you went with that.
That's just not right. You never use the lightsaber, dude. That's sacred. Okay, lightsabers are
sounds
sacred.
The same.
Maybe the handle.
Maybe the handle.
I don't know. Like, if I was a Jedi, I'd probably use the handle.
You know, it helps
if you were a Jedi, you just use the Force. Like there's a running joke, about Vader the Force choke, harder, sir, and he's like, what?
I've seen that.
Oh, harder.
Exactly.
Wait, what?
What?
Oh, Lord.
I'm a little scared about.
All right. So, anyways, I don't know where we were at.
I have my phone flipped over. Thank you, Hammer, for the link. I'm going to go throw this out there right
worries.
now. I look, I'm like, why is he messaging me? I'm sitting right here. Oh, that's why.
That's how we communicate when we want to say stuff not on there.
Oh, that's all right. I'm totally fine with that.
Usually we just move the headphones aside and move the mic so we can still hear hear the conversation
Right.
on there.
And everybody going, why? What? Why aren't they just talking in the mic? We can
I
hear
just
them.
kind of like having the whole idea of there is no side conversation. Everything goes on the microphones, and you just hash it out later.
That's a lot of it, yeah.
That's like the ultimate train wreck version.
Right.
It's like train wreck accomplished.
So you guys have had a lot of big names at COTS too.
We have. Again, Boosted GT, Chris Hamilton is our perennial visitor from the South. We've had some other. The biggest nationally known name that has frequented our midst would be Murder Nova, Sean Ellington. He came up, and that was unexpected. We don't. One of the things we don't do with COTS that a lot of racers do is we don't reveal the names or list of racers at all. And we did that, it's a tradition we stuck to because back in the street race days, honestly, we had some people that were just scared of who was going to come. And they were like, well, I don't want to come if he's going to come because he's really fucking fast. We're like, I'll tell you what, bitches, we ain't going to tell you who's coming. Either you're in or you're out. And that's the way it is. Mm-hmm. So, or as Hale likes to say, lock the fuck in and shut the fuck up. That was kind of his thing.
I like him.
So, yeah, it worked out really well. And so now it's just kind of a tradition thing. We don't tell people who's coming, which is good. I mean, we know who's coming, of course, but we don't reveal it. So, you get a guy like Sean Ellington who shows up, and people find out 2 hours later, holy fuck, Murder Nova's there. Next thing you know, noon, there's this massive rush of people coming to see him. Right. So that's always fun. But, so he's come once, twice, and I know Chris Hamilton's been up a bunch of times. We've had some other Southern guys, Codie Jones and other Southern guys come up. Shannon Morgan comes up with Rick Scott sometimes. Shannon Morgan runs the Redemption Race Series down in Texas, which she admittedly modeled after COTS. She's like, oh my God, I got to do this. This race is amazing. I'm like, all right, cool. Do what you got to do. And I mean, Redemption has gotten huge. Actually, I think she's got her event. I think it's this weekend, actually. I forget. There's so many no preps going on. It's hard to keep them all straight now. Everybody's got one.
Redemption's pretty big, though.
It's
about that.
It's very big. It's kind of like people
talking to the mic.
I hear her.
Oh, we can hear her just fine.
Hear me.
Okay, I think maybe you need a Q-tip.
I'm just trying to fuck with Tiffany.
Poor Tiff.
I know. I'm always picked on.
She's just a girl.
No, she's not just a girl. This
not anymore. Now she's a lady.
No, this woman. Wait, what? I'm gonna. Can I give credence where credence is due?
Maybe.
Just
This
go.
woman. This woman knew how to do back alley street racing before it was a thing.
No.
Yes. You were coordinating.
You mean around here?
Yes, you were coordinating and shit like that before fucking everyone knew what the fuck was going on.
I got news for you. Back alley street racing is older than everybody at this table.
No, I understand that.
Oh yeah,
I understand that. My dad keeps bragging about his fucking days on the track.
Back in my day, we did. Yeah, back in your day, Dad, the cars went 16.
I know, right?
Yeah, no.
Right.
and that was fast.
Yeah. Now it's racing in Mexico.
Oh, yeah. And it's funny, too, because I had somebody ask me, like, you really drive all the way to Mexico to race? I'm like, yes, we do.
As you see, like, the I-94 freaking thing as you drive by.
Cannonball, cannonball.
Well, exactly.
Well, that's just like the two guys that were racing up on the interstate. Both
roll racing.
It was a Ford GT and I think it was a McLaren. And, like, how stupid could you be? I mean, those are both some pretty high-dollar cars, and you're illegally street racing.
Yeah, but you know why? Because they're just like, well,
we got the money.
I got the money.
Right.
Yeah, what are they going to do to me? They're going to impound your shit. That's what they're going to do. So, and the problem is for those of us who I call old school street racers, and I mean I was doing it with everybody else in the 90s and stuff, in the early 2000s. And, we get, and I say we, I represent the genre, so if you guys don't know who I am, you go, oh, this is a fucking street racer, just shut up and listen. We get mad when people, like, use the term street racing with, like, two Hondas, like, dodging cars on a highway. It's It's not street racing. It's
Go
too.
street
Roll
racer,
racing.
go.
Yeah, right.
roll
It's just
racing.
like that's not even roll racing. That's racing. Because
Did
roll
they
racing.
did they like get to 55 yet, or
No,
I
it's-
like passed them a while?
Well, they needed to throw one more
You know what?
sticker on there.
They're like gnats. You know how gnats chase
Oh,
each other
yes.
around? That's what they do on the highway.
Yes.
They just try to catch each other.
That's what they sound like
And
too.
folks, I was going to say that is a legit audio play right there. Sounds like a herd of West Nile mosquitoes.
Yeah, pretty much.
Unlike if you're
But yeah.
cruising the strip up in this town, it's all mommy and daddy's.
Diesel trucks.
It's
Diesel
dumb.
trucks.
It's all trucks. It's
It's
fucking
So,
really
all right, so
terrible.
diesel trucks. Let's talk diesels. I was a diesel guy for a long time. Actually, that orange one I got there was the first gas truck I've had in over a decade. And how many guys you got running around here with ghost invisible trailers?
A lot.
Quite a bit.
It took,
You know,
it took me a minute to process that
Them-
one.
Dem Dodge
do you
told me or
understand?
so.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Every time I see, and I was a single wheel guy, never had a dually, and I see a guy running around like he's fucking cornholio, like this. I am cornholio. Check out my meter, it's your bunghole, you know.
Yeah.
And it's like, hey, bro, there's no trailer there, and
Right.
and I remember, I drive real trucks for a living. I don't need to play Billy Big Rigger. And I used to always tell these guys, I'm like, the visibility sucks out of those mirrors when they're out. Oh, I can see better. No,
you can't.
No, you
see
can't.
like a 45-degree angle of your ass, if nothing else. I'm like, what's wrong with you people? Oh, they look better. Okay.
I know my truck, they slide out and I keep them slid in. It's like, it's pointless.
Yeah, I have tow mirrors on that half ton. They flip out on a half ton. An orange half ton with tow mirrors. This is the weird. I found it used. I'm going to give a little plug. My buddy Tommy Gennarni, he works over at Cunis Country. He'll hook me up with a crazy deal. He's like, hey, I got this thing in. You got to see it. I was like, what the fuck? It's the strangest thing, but you know what? I love it.
I've done
It's
work for them.
orange and it's
Good
It looks
people.
nice though with the black offset.
Hey,
Yeah.
Tony, you got to put it up to your mouth more.
I heard myself clear as day.
I'm just saying.
I'm
it's
deaf
easier
in
to-
one ear and I can hear myself.
Well,
Stop
good.
yelling at everyone.
Says the sniper.
Can't hear you coming, but you can see him.
Wait, what?
I don't know.
No.
Just keep going.
No.
Because by the time
No.
you hear the shot, you're already on the
I
ground.
was going to say, he's like
Exactly.
Chuck Norris. If
Whoa,
you-
whoa.
Okay,
Whoa.
what? I was gonna go with, if you can see Chuck Norris can see you. If you
No,
can't
no.
see Chuck Norris, you are imminent moments away from death.
No.
That's the opposite of Michael
you
White.
never compare a human to Chuck Norris.
That's true. That's
okay.
true.
He is
Let's
like a god.
respect the Chuck,
He's God.
please.
Well, I was gonna say
He's not God.
He's
He
not.
Close to
controls
it.
God.
I was gonna say he tells God what to do.
Yes. God respects Chuck Norris. That's, out of all the weird social trends, Chuck Norris jokes are one of my favorite.
The boogeyman checks
that-
under his bed for Chuck Norris.
Yes, exactly. Like when he does push-ups, he moves the earth.
He pushes. He doesn't do a push up. He pushes the earth down.
That's right up there with the old Obama and Biden memes that were coming out. Oh my God, I had them all. It's like, hey, let's change all the combinations. God damn it, Joe. I mean, they were awesome. I'm like, I don't know who came up with them, but they were amazing. I love them.
Tickle that ass.
I was gonna say I still like the one where it's Chuck Norris doesn't go hunting. Chuck goes killing.
Yeah.
There is no evolution. There's just a list of what Chuck Norris allows to live.
Exactly.
So, Cots.
We're almost to the first bracket here now, guys. So.
Bracket.
Well, the reason
March
I-
is over.
Yeah.
God damn it!
The reason I was asking about spectator dragging is because I just bought a 76 Trans Am. And,
Okay.
I just want to see what it runs.
76
Go to
Trans Am.
RSD night. That's
Yeah,
good.
got
Turn around for a second. You ain't got no mullet. You don't own that car.
Yeah.
He just got the car, so
We
he's
gotta-
growing the
Yeah.
mullet.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
still
it's
working.
growing.
but it's on the wrong side.
Yeah, right?
I was gonna say we're still
Just gonna
working.
glue it on the back when it grows out like that.
We're still
Cut it
working
off,
on
glue it
getting
back
him the Burt Reynolds white cowboy hat for Smokey and the Bandit 4.
Hey. My car was 1 year before Smokey and the Bandit, all right?
You know what's funny is how all
Split.
those Smoking and Bandit, the Bandit TAs, they're actually like valuable now. They're
Yeah.
real.
Yeah.
When I was in high school, those things were the biggest pieces of shit. Like you couldn't give that fucking thing away. Like, hey, it's got a 6.6. I'm like, it's a fucking Oldsmobile engine. Get that thing out of here. But it was a 403-inch Olds engine. If you guys don't know, it was a complete pooch. And now they're like, oh my God, that's a bandit car. It's like,
Oh yeah.
what?
Yeah.
What? But, that's what happens.
My car's white
White?
because I hate getting into an oven, so I choose white.
It's got to be white, doesn't
that's
it?
Racist.
Yeah, come on, man. It's got to be white.
Bell? Ding! Racist.
Right?
I worked on it. That thing's racist. I'm telling you.
Perfect. Ask and you shall receive.
Well, it's got a Mexican interior, so.
Wow, he's
Again,
all sorts of
racist.
racist.
Thank you. We are 2 for 2. No, so you were asking a question. You want how fast it is. That you could do that without cots being involved. Great Lakes Dragaway, which is very close to here,
Right.
is open 6 days a week.
Right.
So they're only closed on Monday. They do a test and tune every day. It depends on the day. It's $20, $30, $40, whatever it is.
Right.
And you can, if you want to go and find out how fast it is, just go over there, pay the money, say hi to JC, and go do some burnouts.
All right.
That's what I would do.
Right?
See, I want to race you against my Grand Marquis.
Let's do it.
Don't you think your grandfather's going to get mad that you're drag racing his car?
Nah.
Surprisingly enough, it actually has some nuts.
How many
It
bodies
can
do you
a
have in the
burnout.
trunk?
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
Every time he starts the car, it goes,
No, that's just my horn.
But Milton Avenue is pretty slick as far as
Really?
surface.
I was like, wait, where are we going with this? Because Milton Avenue kind of sucks.
well,
Yeah,
that sounds like a good category for a street race.
Yeah.
Let's
Used
find the
to.
worst possible road we can find.
Yeah.
Actually, back in the day, it used to be a lot of fun with that. 'Cause
Yeah.
we used to come up,
Yeah.
when I was in high school, we'd bring up all of our cool cars and come up, and it was actually a lot of drag racing and a lot of fun. But now,
Yeah.
unless you have a diesel
There's a
truck,
lot
you don't
of
really
drag
fit in
racing.
there.
Unless you have a diesel truck.
Yeah, they've
pretty much.
Let me
Yeah.
tell you something. I used to, the last two diesels I had, they were two-wheel drive, okay? And it wasn't it wasn't by choice when I bought the first one. It just happened to be available in my town. It was in 2008. And I had a 2006 Magnum SRT wagon, which I fucking loved.
Ooh.
It was awesome. But it was losing value by the second. The resale on those cars was terrible. And it was like a speeding ticket waiting to happen.
Did it have
like-
a Hemi?
Oh, yeah. I even like my big old baseball hat, my little redneck trucker cap here. And it was awesome. And I get this two-wheel drive Dodge, and this fucking piece of shit was the fastest diesel I ever drove in my life with a tuner. And he talks about trying to get guys to race, and I couldn't get a race with this truck. They're like, I don't know, man. I don't know. All I told them was just two-wheel drive. Let's do this, because none of these guys can get the truck to leave in two-wheel drive.
Okay.
I do in two-wheel drive, and they would just annihilate the tires. I'm long gone. Truck went like 1430s. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, it went like 1370s or something like that. And its fastest, which, I mean, for what it was stupid fast.
Right.
Like stock, it went like 15 O's. I was like, holy shit, this truck is fast. I put a tuner stack on. I bought off of eBay. And, just rock it, you know? So, I get it with the diesel trucks, but most of those guys are just lost. They're lost. Like, and no disrespect to any of my fellow diesel friends, but most of you all are lost. It's like, hey, I got myself a fast pump, big old turbo, and I got this and that and everything else, and yeah.
1-inch wheel spacers, got
Yeah,
the
right.
wheels way out there.
I make fun of them because they all sit there and roll coal. It's like, wait a minute, if your truck's rolling coal, your truck ain't running for shit.
Well, it's just not. Well, it depends. If it's
Depends on the tune.
yeah, and it
Yeah.
depends if it rolls coal and it's in boost, then yeah, they got a problem.
Well, you're just basically throwing gas away, or
ex-
fuel away.
Yeah,
not
it
gas,
looks
but-
cool and all, but anybody that knows diesel tuning knows that coal is just fuel you didn't use. Really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
'cause-
just soot.
Spooling up black, fine. You should go to like a gray to a white before they launch. If they're not at least a gray to white, they're going to run either super rich or they're going to lean it out if they go too far.
Well, you can't lean a diesel out. Just so you know, it's not like a gas motor. It's physically impossible because most diesels don't even have a throttle plate. They have nothing. It's just based on how much fuel goes into the engine. One of those little tech things. I'm kind of a nerd.
So it
sorry.
just bogs itself out at the top end?
No, I mean, if you start pulling fuel out of a diesel, it just starts slowing down.
Right, that's what I was meaning.
Yeah, but it won't whereas a gas motor, if you pull fuel out of it, it'll lean out and get hot and melt shit. Diesels, it won't even matter.
Yeah, see, mine, because I drive a 05 Ford F-250, which
How many fucking cars you got? I was
Two.
talking about the
I got
Grand
two.
Marquis.
He has work
I got
vehicles.
I got a Grand Marquis and a diesel truck.
Okay.
But
He's
that
got a
thing's-
grocery runner and a body runner. That's pretty much all we need.
Yeah,
Well,
the
you can
car
run
does-
bodies in a
by
Grand
me.
Marquis. I mean, that's
The car
what I've been
does-
told.
Yeah. I can get at least 10. I mean,
I
I've
never
heard
said
10.
which was which.
Yeah, my friend Jeff says the dead hooker count in a Crown Vic's at least 12 if you cut them up.
Really?
Just saying.
16 if
good
you
to
go
know.
between the joints.
Oh, nice.
But anyways,
Waste not.
my truck, I mean, it doesn't blow any smoke, stinks like hell, but
It's a
doesn't.
6-liter, right?
Yeah, it's been bulletproof too, so at least that helps.
Bullet. Where's my Austin Power, my Dr. Evil quotes? Bulletproofed.
Well, it's not blowing a head gasket anytime soon
No,
again.
that's and,
Again?
And honestly, and, 6 liters. This is no joke. The first 2-wheel drive truck I had, the first common rail truck, I went to race a 6-liter at the Grove, and I'm listening to this turbo. I can't whistle right now. Sorry, but the turbo is it's fucking terrifying. I'm like, I'm gonna die. This guy is gonna roll over me. And I 8th mile fucking this guy so bad. I'm like, where? I'm looking in the mirrors. I'm like adjusting the mirror. Where the fuck is he moving? He's back there smoking. I was like, wow. And at that point, I realized the 6 liters take a lot of work to make them fast. A lot of work. Because as soon as they get a little fast, poof, out comes the magic smoke. That's pretty much what they do.
Yeah.
Now, and a lot of diesels go fast. But the thing with diesels is they go fast, but then you start burning shit up. The last one I just got rid of for that truck, it was a 6-speed truck. I mean, it's 6-speed, 1 ton, bad truck. Mm-hmm. That's cool, but it wasn't a race truck. The guy I sold it to learned that because he put a clutch in it in less than a year.
Well, most of those, they're not meant for racing. They're not meant for what they're doing.
No, it's a pulling truck. I used to pull 26,000 pounds with it, hauling 3 cars. It did just fine. He's like, I blew the clutch out of it. I'm like, how the fuck did you do that? I used to haul 30,000 with this thing. Well, to each his own.
Hammer down.
Yeah.
Well, a friend of mine, he pulls tractors, like farm tractors and shit for, used to do it for a living. But, kind of more for fun now and money. But he started with Chevy, and he found out real quick Chevy can't, tow for shit, some of them tractors. So he bought an old Ford, and he goes, the day I crawled under that Ford was the last day I bought a Chevy because they are so robust.
They are.
Everything under a Ford's a baby elephant.
The problem with the Fords for years, you guys got no signal under here, do you? I'm like 1X.
Nope.
It's like, hey, welcome to 1984. It
is Janesville.
Yeah, perhaps. So the thing is with the Fords, their front suspension sucked for years. I used to own a fleet shop back in the late 90s. We did a ton of them. And this little twin beam suspension they celebrated back in the 80s.
Yeah.
Ford's twin beam suspension became mechanics ATM. That's pretty much what it was. Tires and ball joints and everything else. These Econoline vans and F-250s and all that shit. And when they got rid of that, things started getting better. But, yeah, they were... I don't know why they stuck with it as long as they did personally. So, back to COTS.
Yeah, back to COTS.
King of the shitty suspension.
I do want to clarify, just so I'm not getting shit later on, is I don't know where Gary got the whole I started street racing thing. So just to clarify, I never told him that.
He was just meaning you were one of the bigger ones around this area, the Rockford and stuff like that.
So basically, you're like the Janesville boss, or what?
Used to be.
I used to
Now she's the Fond du Lac
set it
boss.
all up around here. Dave came out a couple of times back when Janesville used to have a street scene.
Sorry. You said Dave came out. I'm like, what? Congratulations.
Yay!
Thank you.
After 5 kids and a wife, I don't know.
4. I have 4.
He's like,
That you know of.
Yeah,
Touche.
for now.
I just wanted to
chloroformed
clarify
a
that
lot.
so that way.
Okay.
It's like your taxes, 1.5 kids. Where the hell's the other half a kid come from?
But,
In the making.
But no, back when Janesville used
Now
to have
living.
a street scene around
Right.
here, it was a lot of fun.
And part of the street scene, I hear this a lot, is people talk about street racing this, street racing that. I mean, I love street racing. Don't get me wrong. I don't for a variety of reasons. One, my license is my livelihood.
Oh, yeah.
Like there's
Well,
no,
you can't do
I just
anything.
can't.
Yeah.
I know guys that'll do it, and that's great. But I don't want to be in a position where I come home and go, "Hi guys, I lost my career because I went on street racing, and now we have no way to make a living because
Right.
I'm a breadwinner." So,
Right.
Right.
for the
That
most
would
part,
suck.
yeah, that's it's not something I'm willing to do.
Well, and that's
But
pretty common for a lot.
It is now. It is when you get older. You get priorities a little better. But a big part of it is I'll give you a good example. That orange pickup I got out there is about as fast as the car I used to race in high school. It's a 5,000-pound pickup truck. Mm-hmm. I'm like, the technology has done things to these cars that we can't even imagine.
Right.
Like, to put in perspective, circling back to COTS because that was kind of the point.
Yeah.
We have several different classes of COTS, And our trademark class is our senior class, which is what we started with. We called it senior when we introduced our second class called junior. And junior is a 26-inch drag radial streetcar class. It has a lot of rules. I wrote them all. It's real specific. The juniors, and I can't give specifics, of course, but the juniors operate at the same level now, or a couple of years ago, that the seniors did for like the first 3 or 4 years of the race. Like the technology, and these are street cars on small tires and all kinds of stuff. And it's, these guys know that. And it's amazing to see where it's gone. That's one of the reasons why street racing is so difficult, just because the power has gotten so ridiculous. Apparently we're mixing up the next batch of nuclear fission chemical over
Look
here.
at this. Doesn't it look like it's like little...
No, you know what it looks like?
from a laboratory
I see
or
this, and I
something.
think you guys are testing every pool in the country at the same time.
Right?
Because I used to do a lot of pool I owned a pool growing up.
Me personally, I just think it's a bunch of nipples from Star Trek. Kirk got around.
Yeah, I suppose he did. I didn't think about that. That's no, not awkward at all. I didn't even think about that. I'm more of a next gen guy. I didn't get into the first Star Trek, and then I got into all of them because I was a fucking nerd. But I love it.
You get into one, you get into all of them. Granted, most of us kind of looked the other way when it came to Enterprise, but hey.
Yeah, Enterprise. I mean, it wasn't bad. I mean, I got into a thing where I binge watched all of them except for the originals. I just can't do. I can't do them. You get used to like actual visual effects, and you watch the old ones, and you're like, "What am I doing?" Like you don't get the time back. So it would be different. But ironically, I love the old Batmans. The original Batmans, I fucking love.
Those were hilarious as hell.
I mean, my kids love them. We watch them as a family. It's a great time.
Always walking up outside of a building, and some random celebrity pops out the window.
Yeah, it's like Bruce Lee or something like that. And we have there's jokes in my house, and every now and then my wife would be like, "Oh, some days you just can't get rid of a bomb," and only people that know the show know what that's about. So it's these random jokes that float around. But yeah, I could never get into the old Kirk episodes. That's just me though.
Yeah, we have no idea what old jokes are about. Pandas.
Oh no,
panda raping Nazis.
What? I did find that.
Really?
I told you.
I thought we could corner the market on that one.
No, because I told you I found it 6 months later when Pornhub decided to do its whole wrong show, Michael.
So yeah, he's the lead host of the Midnight Sushi Show. If you're wondering,
Midnight Sushi, is that when the sushi like spoils and starts acting right?
Go ahead, Mike.
Like when food goes bad.
Bad Habits Network was founded by a bunch of guys and a gal on a couch with a case of PBR, just talking about everything you don't talk about at a bar.
Okay.
Midnight Sushi is what happens when
about everything.
I was saying, what don't you talk about at a bar? What kind of pussy-ass bars I go to?
Here, hold on.
It's a bar.
Hold on. Go for it, Mike.
Go ahead.
My show is what happens when that case of PBR runs out. It's 2 o'clock in the morning in a Denny's parking lot, and Hammer's nipples are leaking, and no one's making eye contact. And food.
Yeah, they got to throw the food in there.
Hey,
yeah, now that I have someone else that I can talk to food about.
Talk to food about?
Yes.
You're talking to your food? I'm thinking there was more than PBR going on, just for the record.
Yeah, the way you said
I
it.
talked to food all the goddamn time. I was a chef for 12 years.
I love you.
I talked to food all the goddamn time. I was a chef for 12 years.
Although I've said that at Denny's at late at night.
Oh, how
Look
you
at
make
moons
me feel
over my
full.
hammy. I love you. Get in my mouth.
Okay, in all fairness, that was post-safety meeting with Guru.
All right,
that was hammered just a couple days ago.
Safety meeting with Guru. We've had that discussion.
I call Denny's Russian roulette of diarrhea. It's like, what's going to give me diarrhea today?
Anyways, back to Cots.
And back to Cots.
Speaking of shitty situations.
Oh, damn,
What are some of the...
No, go for it. You have my permission, Reamer.
What are some of the worst things that you've seen at Cots?
Well, first off, there's nothing bad at Cots because we are excellent at all times. Okay. I kind of take the Ricky Bobby approach to it.
I was kind of going for some guy blow his motor sky high.
We've had guys wreck. We've been fortunate. We haven't had a lot of bad wrecks. Actually, interestingly enough, arguably the worst wreck we've ever had was on the very first pair. The very first race, we had 2 cars wreck each other.
Oh shit!
Yeah, that was
like, well, this went well.
Yeah, we're like, what? And everybody's like, and it's funny. You talk to Chris Hamilton, Boosted GT. That's back when guys were just getting into the whole digital fuel stuff, and he's like, you could listen to everybody in the pits collectively pressing the down button on their tune, like, turn it down. And I mean, everybody's fine. One driver that got wrecked by the other got out laughing his ass off. We thought he was pissed. He was just laughing. He's just like, that was fun. I'm like, bro, you just totaled your car. He's like, whatever. It was fun. That would
Hey,
be
Sean.
That'd be Oz, by the way. Shout out to Oz.
Sorry, we can hear
Are
you really good
familiar
over the
with-
mics.
Are you familiar
Wait,
with
don't stab her in the neck with a vape. It looks like he's taking her hostage over there.
Are you familiar with Motor Trend's Drag Week?
Motor Trend?
Motor Trend's Drag Week.
Motor Trend?
Everybody knows
Come
that.
on,
Motor
we all
Trend.
know the only difference
Are you
in the
familiar
bedroom.
with that event, though?
Motor Trend.
Yes. Well, I'm talking
You know
about.
Motor Trend doesn't do Drag Week, right?
Okay.
Hot Rod does Drag Week. That's what I was like. I was like,
I watch it on the
like
Motor
we all
Trend
know
channel.
what-
Yeah, okay.
Nice
But,
try, Johnny.
Yeah,
But,
I'm familiar with it. Yeah.
Are you familiar? Or have you? Or you thought
No,
about
he's
doing
not
an event like
familiar
that?
with all these,
Yeah,
you know.
Well, here, no, that's
car
a,
events.
no, it's a valid. It's a
I
valid.
know.
I'm
No, it's
kind
a-
of asking, like, are you like ever thought about doing an event like that where you're driving track to track?
Well, we kind of do actually, and this was a brainchild of Steve's. What the hell? It sounds like a
Kids.
house coming out around us over here. It's how I feel in my basement trying to work. Like, what's with the herd of elephants?
Oh, it gets worse. Trust me, at times.
Oh, that sounds awesome. Turn my mic up.
How old is this kid up there? How old is this?
I know there's a few kids up there.
Oh, is there? That's
Yeah.
probably why.
Oh wow! So we have the Blown-Pistons Radio Network
My
and
grandson
daycare.
is 2.
There's just two up there?
So we got
okay.
Yes,
two, a
most
soon to be
folks at this
4.
table have sex trophies.
But
There's 3 kids up there total.
Including Gary?
midgets.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
My wife.
perfect. So
Oh,
all right,
yeah,
where
height
we-
requirements.
so back to cots. Circling back,
All right,
back
we're
on
gonna-
topic.
No,
We'll eventually get
most
to
of this
Cots here
out
soon.
No, that's okay. we actually used to have Mark Mueller outplaying, who was part of the old RST radio show. He used to be the back on topic buzzer. He'd be like, back on topic, ding. That was his thing. Like, all right, or off topic, I think it was. And he used to get really mad. We're off topic. It's a fucking stupid radio show. We're trying to have fun. Settle down here, curmudgeon.
Oh, we get a lot of shows where it's like, oh shoot, we wanted to talk about this, but we got so far off topic we didn't talk about anything. We've
You know-
even had guests come in where we've tried
Driven.
to talk to them about what they were from.
Right.
Never even got to it.
Yeah, we actually even named a show like that, Drifting,
Really?
where we drifted into every single one of our shows.
That's called crashing with style.
Oh, I think we've named one of our shows that too.
Nice.
Yeah, I think it was July last year.
I never really gave any thought to it until I would look at the shows the next day, and they were like 4 hours long. I'm like, what did we do for 4 hours? Holy
Yep.
shit.
Sat there, drink.
So we'll go back to Cots and try to
Okay.
stay on topic for
Yes.
a moment.
Okay.
We have, and this is something Hey-O Steve came up with. He wanted to do something more streetcar oriented, which, we started 28, the seniors, and we want to come up with another class, and I came up with the junior class, again, going slower for a bigger pool of racers. And as you, just making
have
sure
no
nobody got
idea.
hurt.
We tune it out.
As you bring the performance level of the cars down, your pool of available racers increases. That's kind of how it works.
Right.
So, and it's going along the same thing. He started a program called Street Life, which we were doing on the Friday night before Cots. We're not doing that this year because it kind of outgrew Friday, so he's still trying to figure out some details on that. But that was kind of what you're talking about with Drag Week, whereas the cars had to complete a 30-mile cruise, and they had to race on the tires they drove in on, and there was several key rules, and guys had a lot of fun with it because again, like slow is the new fun. It becomes even with no prep.
There's a saying where it's more fun to drive a slow car fast than a fast car.
Well, and it's also a lot less hassle on you. Like you back in the day, having an 8-second car was like a full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
It was huge money. It was huge effort. Now guys have 8-second cars that they drive,
Right.
like on the street. Like I'm
'cause
gonna
technology,
take my car to work. I just make sure her parachute spins, so I don't fucking throw the bag on the guy behind me at a stoplight. But it's
Be
so
hilarious, though.
yeah, and it is hilarious. Just drop the bag in traffic, poof, on a squad car. My bad, dude. Let me go get that. Sorry. So but it's and it makes a lot of sense. The guys who have gone really fast are enjoying going slow again, and kind of starting over,
Right.
because that's again where I think the allure of no prep was in the first place, because by running the no prep, which now is kind of just an acknowledged format, if you will. Excuse me. And the whole point of it is to be the equalizer. The track is the equalizer, so that some guy with $1 zillion can't just come in and mop everybody up. I mean, obviously, guys are getting fast. I mentioned Birdman earlier. James Finney, he's a friend of mine, a great racer and a great guy.
Yes.
And he's the king right now. Like he's the nationwide king. He's the no prep king according to Discovery Channel and Street Outlaws, everywhere he goes, it's pretty rare he doesn't win.
Right.
And people go, oh, well, he dominates. Yeah, because he busts his ass. I mean, he's got a lot of money in the combination. He wins a lot of money. And that's where no prep went. That separated it from regular drag racing is we were paying out bigger purses. We did, and then a lot of other events pay way bigger than we do, but we try to keep it a little more manageable. Winning $10,000 at one race used to be virtually unheard of. Like, it didn't happen.
Right.
And that's pretty much where we started. We were doing 10,000 or 15, and we were doing all racer money. We told the guys we got to rent the track, and they had. I think at the time in 2008 the buy-in was $550. Now it's
a lot more.
No, now it's $200.
Oh, is it?
It's
Oh,
gone
I
down.
thought it went up.
No, it went down.
Okay.
At one point it was $100, but it seemed like it was kind of losing focus. So we figured $200 was a good fit, and racers wanted to pay that. It puts a little skin in the game, and it lets us put money in the pots, and it's a good fit to be. I did a live feed. I got really pissed, and it had nothing to do directly with COTS, but I got really pissed because everybody's doing no prep races, and that's great. But I see these no prep races that people are putting their blood, sweat, and tears in, and are like, "Come on down, entry's only $1." I'm like, "What are you doing?" Like, I understand they're trying to get a broad market. But it's like I worked really hard on crafting this plastic bottle of water. I've got 6 years of my entire life in fabricating this. You can buy it for $0.25.
Right.
Like, to me, you're selling yourself short. I think you should price accordingly and have a product that delivers on your price. That's my professional spiel.
Yep.
So, I'm not saying you should, rape the shit out of guys. That's one of the reasons why people don't like NHRA. NHRA's got a major event coming to Joliet in the beginning of June. Mm-hmm. And I was looking at ticket prices for it because people were asking if I was going to go, and I'm not a big spectator. It's not my thing. And the prices are scary, really scary. So you got to find some place where you fit. And going in again with the entry, you don't want to give away everything you got. You want to price it accordingly. You want the racer to get a value, and you want to make them feel like they earned whatever they want. That sort of thing. Right. So, and that's why one of the reasons why no prep got so big with a lot of people is because no prep was paying out better. Right. There's races out there paying $10, $20, $40, $50, $60, $100,000 to win. Like, you go 5 or 6 rounds, boom, you just won 6 figures. Right. It's unbelievable. So, and I got I like to tease bracket racers. I don't. It's all in good fun. But, they're like, oh, we have the million. Yeah, you have 658 cars in that field. It takes like a week to run it. Right. I'm not saying it's not worth it, but bracket racing is a sport. Because I tease them. I can go on about that for hours, honestly, but it's a good fun. And going back to, we were talking about the Slide Society guys that were, I guess, were a little negative. And I'm being nice and political because I don't remember the exact conversation, so I'm not going to trash the guys. But, right. It's one of these things where with no prep racing, even with drag racers, I tell them this: either you get it or you don't. It's pretty simple. Some people are like, well, that's stupid. You got all those people up at the starting line and da-da-da-da-da, and there's no prep and it's dangerous and it's all that. I'm like, yeah, let's look at spectator counts, shall we? Because the people like it. Right. It's intimate. Now, it's my job as the event coordinator, technical director, co-founder, safety guy, whatever the fuck you want to call me, is to make sure that there is an element of risk for the spectators because it's exciting, right, but not to put them in direct harm's way. And it's difficult. Somebody might get hurt eventually. It happens. Right. But we've had, so far, wood table. Thanks, guys. We've had a good track record. We haven't had any spectators get hurt in the course of COTS. And we're the first event to put spectators along the sidewalls of the racetrack, which, people still to this day think is insane. Well, probably, but people pay for the privilege and they love it. It's an experience you can't get anywhere else.
Well, it's kind of like when you watch like the European rally races and stuff like that. They're right on the corner.
Exactly. Like one dude will miss his step and he'll just drop to the ground right over him. He's like, he gets up and goes, I'm good. No problem. It's
you see him bounce off the hoods of them things, get up and get back. Like, where's my bear?
All they have is a little piece of freaking rope or like the colorful tape to like stop a car.
Yeah, well,
don't stand in front of this.
I'm safe behind this caution tape.
Yeah. and that's exactly it. So we've had
like PT belts.
What? PT belts?
What?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay.
Similar.
But yeah, so we've I've taken some grief from people about that, and some of these more professional racing form kind of thing. People turn their nose up to what we did for a long time, and now that it's got a lot of national attention, national attraction, people are coming around. Like they're starting to be like, well, maybe there's something to this. And I mean, I don't want to sit there and get on a soapbox about it, but duh.
Right.
You know, we knew this years ago, and I have to laugh a little bit. And Steve and I were talking about this the other day. I'm sorry he couldn't be here, but he was tied up on a last minute thing. But you know, we were talking about this, and it's funny because with all the TV attention for No Prep and whatnot, people are like, "Man, I can't believe No Prep's been around for like 4 years." And those of us who have been in this for a long time, not just me and Steve, people that racing, people in other parts of the country, are all like, no, not so much.
Wrong.
Right. So it's, you know, and it's been a hell of a ride, honestly. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year.
Yeah.
We're the only No Prep race that's been run in 10 years. And we'll have our 19th and 20th event this year. We'll be the first event to do that as well. And we only do 2 events a year. So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. I'm interested to see where the future will go.
Yeah. I like it. I love coming every year.
I can't wait to get down there this year. I'm really excited to go. I mean, last year, Tiff tried to get us to come down, and I think we all had
We're trying to get you down there for at least 2 years.
I know.
You had to think about that way.
Oh, I had to think. What year is this?
The fall event, the 2 spring and fall of last year. We tried to get you all down there.
It's just, it's scheduling conflicts.
Well, and it's interesting. Remember, I told you my wife doesn't like drag racing. Mm-hmm. And she's like, let me guess. Meow. All right. We wait 5 minutes, and then meow. Then they go again. You know, I mean, she makes a point. I get it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't go so far as to say that it's a skill-less sport, but she has learned that the VIP experience at COTS along the wall is definitely different.
Oh, yes.
You know, and that's why
I've
people
done
love
that
it.
too. Yeah.
You know, I have people that will camp out along, and a couple years, actually last year, I reluctantly had to clear off the left wall at the Grove. People were like, "Oh, why'd you guys do that?" Well, you know, in order to make it better for the racers, we tried to give them, you know, lower entries and whatnot. But in order to pay those pots, we need spectators in those seats. And when spectators can't see the racetrack, they get pissed and they don't come back.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So we cleared the left wall, put them all along the right side. We keep media on the left side, and it's a good fit. The VIP folks get their VIP thing, and the I keep waiting for water like you're doing a bong hit over there.
Sorry.
Hold it. Now I really feel like I'm in college.
You want me to pass?
Well, in my day, you didn't have to pass. You just took it and swung it that way because I was 6 was a bit much. I was more into 3-footer guy. Had to be glass though. That was just my thing.
I'm still waiting to see the bong that has a kickstart on it.
Dude, good time. That would be. Oh, now you could probably just use like one of these battery-powered drills with a little blower attachment.
Oh, I'm learning a lot about this stuff lately. I just found out there's such thing as a beaver bong, which I never knew about in the past. But wrong show, I guess.
Yeah, that's a wrong show, Dave.
A beaver
wrong
bong?
show,
Is
Dave.
this involving the animal or the woman?
Woman. Google it.
Oh, I don't think I want to do that. That's where I do a blue waffle. Do not ever look up blue waffle in
actually,
life.
one of the last times, not last time, but the time before when we did have Slide Society and they challenged Tammer to a drinking contest. Apparently,
champion.
blue waffle is the key word to make somebody hurl. We found that out.
If they know what it means, yeah.
He did.
It'd be like, it'd be like walking up somebody that's right on the edge and be like, hey, shit, there's not enough down here. But you walk up to the 2 ladies sitting down and you give them one single cup and go, what do you see? And it'll be like, oh, and they'll run off in the bathroom every time.
Yeah.
That's another one that
It's gross.
I
got tricked into that one.
I almost got
Hey,
tricked
watch
into
this.
it, and I heard about what it was, and I'm like, close. I'm good. Some things you cannot unsee, and I'm okay with that.
Yep.
Absolutely.
I learned the hard way. Hey, this is cool. Watch this. What is this? Click. Oh, God, no.
And back to COTS.
Yeah, now that we're 2 girls, 1 cup, and COTS. How's that going?
So explain,
2 girls, 1 trophy cup.
what the cost of like spectators and the cost of to go in VIP.
I first have a personal aside from my significant other, Chris Fosco, who is my partner in crime at Drift Chi-Town. He's talking about the Indy boss, and he gets to be the DCT boss, and blah, blah, blah. No, you don't. So, the end. That was fun, Chris. You don't. No, I'm just kidding. I told him I was coming out here. He goes, wait, you're going? I'm like, yeah. I didn't expect to be able to go, but then, Unglued got canceled, so I was able to go on a last minute kind of thing. So, but yeah, I don't want to neglect my little, I don't want to neglect my ability to talk. I was say my little man, Christian. His name is Christian. Chris Fosco. So spectator cost is $25. VIP cost is $40. It's a wristband you buy at the COTS trailer in short staging. And I've gotten a lot of inquiries if whether or not we can pre-order. You cannot. We stick to certain things, and VIP is only available day of the race. I think 9 o'clock when we start selling them. They sell fast.
Yeah, they're usually sold out by like 11, 12.
Yeah, they're limited quantities, and
So it's like very old school kind of setting.
We try to. We try to keep it kind of old school. One, because it's just cool. Let's be honest, and two, because honestly, for the size of the race that Cots has become, which still to this day baffles me, there's not a lot of people behind it. We have a crew of great people to help us on the day of the race. No doubt there's a lot. The Cots family, I can name them for an hour, and I would still probably need more time.
Right.
But at the beginning end of it, it's Steve and I and a couple of lieutenants that help us with certain things. But it's not a big production. Was it last year, 2 years ago? I finally started taking Friday off of work to prepare for Saturday.
Sure.
I would work Friday and you'd bust my ass all night Friday, show up Saturday, be like, "Hey folks, welcome to Cots." Oh, hey, let's do first round draw. Hey folks, how you doing? I was all screwed up, and now I've upgraded. I've actually luckily I secured some sponsorship type of thing from the good folks at General RV in Huntley. They provided me with an RV for the weekend.
Oh, there you go.
Which is super cool. Yeah, I actually just talked to them the other day to firm that up. So they've been real nice at help. And it's really more for me, but it's an event thing, so it allows me to stay on the property. I don't have an RV. Can't afford an RV, and for as often as I would use it would be foolish to even try. So that works out best for me, and lets me camp out up there Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, and oversee everything. And I spend most of the day Friday setting up vendor row, and I do it all myself, and with a couple of helpers or whatnot. And Steve checks make sure everybody's ready, gets all the merch set up, and then we check all the guys in on Saturday. But it is very much old school and very much a family small type of race.
Oh, yeah.
And we try to keep it that way.
Cool.
And it's tough because when you have anywhere between 3,000 to 6,000 people show up to a drag race. That's just an estimate. I don't even know. It's go back and look. It's a lot of fucking people.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what it is.
Yep.
So it gets to be a little bit of pressure at times, and that's I do chuckle a bit when there's a lot of people trying to do races. And I don't want to sound like a dick, but they're just trying to cash in. Some folks that are not, they don't have any passion for the sport. They just see, a possible paycheck. And it happens around the country. And people think, wow, it's easy. And I've told people for years, even when I was just announcing at real street drags out in the grass, like, oh, that's easy. I walk over, give them the mic. They're like, don't come near me with that thing. I'm like, what's the matter, child? You said it was easy.
Right.
Come on. Show me how bad you are. I'm like, that's my wireless mic. I got $500 in it, but I'll put it in your hand, and you can show me how easy what I'm doing right now is. You ever tried to punk somebody out with a mic at a live event? It is
Yes,
hilarious.
I have heard it.
So much fun. It is absolutely like you think. At one point I walked up and I wanted to ask. I can't remember her name. It was a spectator, but I wanted to ask her a question. And I walked up and I stuck the mic in her like this. I'm like, well, so what's your opinion? She looks at me. She goes, "Don't put that thing in my face." I'm like, "Sweetheart, it's a microphone. What is wrong with you?" I'm like, you know what? Never mind. Shell shock. There's PTSD or something. So, but it's like not like I put a gun to her face or said, "Hey, how do you like my tattoo?" Zip. I just like, what's your thought? She's like, no, I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that.
Well, I hate to cut you off, but on that note, we're going to have to start slowing everything down.
Sure.
Where can people find all your stuff at?
Well, for COTS, it's going to be mostly on Facebook. That's our current stuff. We've got a website at cotsrace.com. Of course, you can find us on pretty much all social media. Just look for Chi-Town COTS. That's the easiest way. I do want to just mention we are in social media with Drift Chi-Town as well. And we've got some big things coming. Unfortunately, we ran out of time to talk too much about that. But you know what that does? That means we can do it on another show.
Exactly.
And back to COTS.
And back to COTS. So COTS is going to be June 9th and September 17th, I believe it is. And we got 2 dates this year, both at Great Lakes Dragaway. And, it's going to be
cool.
More OG, no prep shit.
Well, I definitely
won't. A drift event the next day.
Correct, yeah. I mean, we do one drift event. Our next one is actually May 20th.
Okay.
And we've been doing some teasers. We did a big layout using this long staging and the whole track and just trying some shit. So people are freaking out about that. So I'm hoping we can put one of those together later in the year. But that requires to close down the entire drag strip. So it's kind of a big deal. But the owner is willing to work with us on it. So I'm hoping to make it happen.
Cool.
And, really blow that thing out. So Slide Society, if you guys are listening, you're welcome to come if we do it. I'm just saying, no hard feelings.
Do you see a lot of crossover between the...
I don't.
Okay.
I don't. I will say this: the drag guys, most of my drag guys, first they're like, "Oh, what are you doing?" just doing something with the kids. It's fun, and honestly, I love the drifting. It is so much fun. It's grassroots. I love grassroots in general, and the drag race guys keep nosing over. Like they'll drive the golf carts over and look at what we're doing.
What's going on over there?
I definitely want to say thank you for showing up. I mean, it's been awesome having you here,
Thank you very
learning
much.
more about the stuff. It's been great.
Open invite though. Anytime you want to join us again, for sure.
We can set them up for right after Cots. Then we can give us the highlights and the.
That might be a possibility. It's like, all right, folks, Cots is over. What do you think?
You can set them up for the one in September, and we're good to go.
I can finally go to bed.
Yeah, pretty much.
Get them all hyped up for September.
Here, you want to hear the ultimate plug? That General RV sure does come in handy at the end of Cots.
But all right, guys. Well, we got to get heading out of here. So
thank you very much for having me. I appreciate you
like
tolerating
I said,
my rambles.
Anytime, man. Anytime. That's been great.
Cots motherfucker. Don't forget that too. That's the one. Cots motherfucker.
So
June
all right.
9th.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I say June 9th, Cots motherfucker. I mean, that's about it. Even the kids are saying it upstairs.
Yay!
Apparently. Yeah.
All right, guys. So we are out of here. You guys gonna say goodbye at all?
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Fuck you guys. We're out.
Cots motherfucker.